History paper 1 of November 2024. So in this video we're going to go through the questions of the question paper of November 2024 and the answers. So it's just a presentation of the questions and the answers. So let's subscribe and share to our channel and share the link to our colleagues who are doing the history at Grade Cove. More typical examination questions will be uploaded in this channel. So let's stay tuned for more videos to come. So as for this question paper, we are going to start on the instructions and information, whereby these are the instructions that we have in terms of section A and section B. And then we are told that section A consists of 3 source-based questions, and then also section B consists of 3 essay questions. So that is what we have. Then in terms of answering, we are seeing that we've got an explanation on form on how we are supposed to answer those questions. Then you are advised to spend at least 1 hour per question, also very important. So with that, we move on to the first part, which is now our question 1. So in terms of our question 1, it is with reference to source 1A. So these are the questions that we have. So on the first question, when according to the source did the construction of the Berlin Wall begin? So we refer to our source 1A. So this is our source 1A. And then according to our responses, so this is the response in terms of question 1.1.1. So we refer back to the second question that we have. So on the second question, it says give one reason in the source why the German Democratic Republic, which is GDR, constructed the Berlin Wall. So we refer back again to the source. So this is our response for 1.1.2. Then we refer to the next question, which is now 1.1.3. Determine the concept communism in your own words. So this is the response on defining the concept of communism. So 1.1.3. Then we move on to 1.1.4. Explain why you think the fleeing of people to the west in 1961 ended up damaging the following: the credibility of the GDR. So in terms of our response, with 1.1.4, we've got our response on this part. Then also on B, the workforce of the GDR is also indicated. Then 1.1.5 and the response. So moving on to the question 1.2, which is on source 1b. So we'll first refer to the source so that we can read the source and we refer back to the questions. So this is source 1b. So going back to the first question that we have on source 1b. Identify 3 incidents in the source that Hans Peters witnessed at 2:20 a.m. that is 13 August 1961 while he was on border duty in the French sector of West Berlin. So with that we refer again to the source. And we'll try to see the response to that. So these are the incidents that we have on 1.2.1. And with that we move on to the next question. Explain why a student would regard this source as reliable when researching an account of what transpired in the morning of 13 August 1961. So in response to that, 1.2.3, we also have our response on the marking guideline. Then 1.3, study source 1A and source 1B. Explain how information in source 1A supports the evidence in source 1B regarding events that took place in Berlin on 13 August 1961. So we have our response 1.3. So moving on to source 1C. So we need to refer to our source 1C before we attempt to answer the question. So this is our source 1C. So in terms of the question on source 1C, saying why according to the source was was Nofike in West Berlin on the evening before the construction of the Berlin Wall? Why, according to the source, was Nofike in West Berlin on the evening before the construction of the Berlin Wall? So, according to our responses, 1.4.1, this is our response. Then in terms of 1.4.2, 1.4.2, we also have a response up to 1.4.3. We also have our response. So on the next part, we've got source 1D. So we need to first refer to source 1D. So this is our source 1D. In terms of the first question that we have for source 1D, explain whether you would consider the words the men are becoming more jumpy as the Berlin crisis deepens, comrade, to be an appropriate caption of the cartoon. So of course 1.5.1, we've got our responses as shown in our marking guideline. So moving on to our essay section, for question 4, that is the extension of the Cold War, case study at Vietnam. So we put our question for question 4 and then our response for question 4. So moving on to our question 5, and then we move on to our response for question 5. Then of course our last question, or question 6,